and like making people feel comfortable and having a safe space to talk about things. And, there's so many friends that have been made through the Rainbow Collective. I mean, it hasn't been without strife. I will not lie. There has been moments where I wondered if I am the right person to do this. But I think that now, more than anything, being here with myself and not like with anybody trying to influence me outside of that, I know that I am. And I think that having, been given a stream team, not being a partner is something that, not a lot of people get the opportunity to have. And I think making something larger than just a stream team, making it go beyond that is really important to me. So.
Give me 1 second. I thought there were other questions I wrote down, because that's and this will roll into what I really wanted to. One of the big things I just wanted to talk to you about was the Rainbow Collective itself. Like, talk about, I guess, essentially the history of the Rainbow Collective.
So, the name itself, I used to like call my own community the Lutionaries, because my name used to be Enviro. And Mickey Slick actually came up with that name, and I told him, we were talking in DMs one day, I was like, this isn't working. I want something that like says what I am and what I want my community to really be, which is like a collection of people that are like, melding together in a rainbow, whether it's LGBTQIA+, whether it's people with autism, people like, with history, like mental, illness or anything like that, people that find a safe space and within this like rainbow umbrella of our collective or our like a thing. And he was like, well, we were kind of talking about rainbows. He's like, what about the Rainbow Collective? I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. So about a week later, I got asked by Gaming Gauntlets to join their like team. I had a call with the leader of Gaming Gauntlets, and we were talking about things. He's like, well, I after talking to you, I think that you would actually be good to have a team on Gaming Gauntlets. Do you have a name for it? And so I told him, the Rainbow Collective, and we kind of like jumped off from there. And so I was kind of scrambling because this like literally came out of nowhere. I had no idea this was going to happen. It just like, it was a call and it was like bam, 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 bam. And I'm like, okay, I got to get like a logo. I had to have all these things. I had to have an invite to Discord. I had to like figure out how we were going to do roles. Like everything just blew up in front of me. And it was just me, basically me and Mickey, because he was the one helping me with like all the graphics and stuff. But mainly it was just me. So I was scrambling to get the graphics and whatnot, and I was talking to the leader of Gaming Gauntlets, and he's like, "Hey, we weren't like 100% positive we were going to go through with it,
right?
Because I wasn't sure if I didn't really have like a team. I just had a community of like maybe 50 streamers at the time, and I didn't know if like that's something that would really benefit." And he was like, "Hey, I created a stream team for you. Here it is. No pressure. You don't have to join Gaming Gauntlets if you don't want to." And he was like, "This is just my gift to you to say thank you for your time and because I believe in what you do and what you can do. And I want you to take this and, just as a gift for me." I'm like, okay, cool. So it was made in my name. I didn't ask him to do it. He just did it. And so we went from there. We are still affiliated with Gaming Gauntlets. It's not something we do as much anymore, and we probably should. But we've kind of been more focused on building up the team to something that we want people that are, that really care about what we're doing. And like, it's not just like, oh, hey, I'm on a team. This is my team. And that's it. We want somebody with a passion for Twitch, a passion for something,
Right.
And then that fits under that umbrella.
Yeah, I think that's important. I mean, anybody can be on a stream team. But I think you have to stand for something, stand and want to represent something.
Yeah,
I think that's important, and I think you're, the Rainbow Collective and all of its members are really, in the few short months that I've been, in there, it's just really an accepting group of people that I haven't really witnessed in a long time on Twitch. The last community I was on, and they were really, inviting and whatnot, but they weren't. It was like really just one stream, and like you could go into someone else's stream, but it was really just the one streamer team, that you went in, like, yes.
And I think that's more common than not. And that's exactly what I didn't want. In terms of like this is my community, like it is mine, but it's also everyone else's. There's not a dictatorship. We don't make decisions like the staff we're equal. Other than the fact I own it, we're equal. Like we make decisions together as a team, what's best for us as a whole. Like I don't know where I would be without them. They're pivotal to everything we do. I mean, they're pivotal, the whole community is, but like Tiny, Beso, Llama, and Arma now, they're we've had some like transitions, and we've had to really dig deep and evaluate what we want and how we move forward because of some things that have happened with the collective. And they're not bad things, people move on. I just it's important to me that we are seen as a community effort and not just like a dictatorship or like this is about me.
Right.
I could care less if I get views or not. Like I'm not about that. So
no, I hear you. And like I said, like the community that I was in before, like they were on a stream team, but it wasn't like you go into like here, like I go, you go into Tiny stream and you see the same people that are in your stream, Besso's stream, Sean's stream, Llama's stream. And I don't know if there's I don't know any other communities. I'm sure they're out there, but I've never seen that before.
And there are definitely other. I mean, the thing is like you're never gonna fit into like one community, right? Like or not. You're never gonna like fit into every community. I've been to communities that are like that. It just I didn't really job the people. And the problem is that in any like small group that you have, you will always have favorites. People will always prefer someone over the other.
Oh, that's normal.
And yeah, but I think that people forget that sometimes, and it's like, well, why aren't they in this person's stream, but they're not in my stream? Well, maybe you're streaming at a different time, and they're just able to make it. Like I know some people stream when I do, and I wish I could watch their stream, but I'm streaming, so I can't.
Yeah, I've had that issue where I'm like, well, I'm gonna stream, but so and so's streaming, and I really want to hang out in their stream, and yeah, that's kind of the fine line you walk. Well, like, well, do you go hang out in their stream or?
Yeah, it's just good to keep an open mind in terms of like no one owes you anything. Like,
right.
If they're friends with that person, like you don't. I feel like people feel that way a lot of times in communities, at least from my experience, that people are owed, as like, well, my views aren't going up. Well, there's a reason why we built the application the way that we did in terms of what do you want out of a team and what do you want to grow within yourself? Like what traits do you love about yourself? What traits would you like to, maybe change or evolve? So
Sean just brought up a point in chat, but I wanted to say real quick that I think you see a lot of streamers, your bigger streamers, and maybe we have a couple bigger streamers in chat, they can attest to this, but here's how I see it. I've had your bigger streamers be like, oh, I feel bad that I had to end stream early or that I didn't stream today, and I've told them, like, listen, you don't owe anybody anything. Like if you're not feeling good, or if you're having a bad day, or if you have issues, that's life. Like you don't owe anybody anything. If you can't stream, people will understand, and if they don't, then they probably need to take a long hard look at themselves, because Twitch isn't everything. Like life happens, and nobody on this site owes anybody anything to a degree. I mean, I feel like if somebody helps me out, then yeah, I feel like, yeah, well, I owe them, a view,
yeah, but I think like
whatever.
What Sean's saying, like in terms of like if your views aren't going, like you don't like these these are not your viewers, like here, right now. They're not yours. They're just people who enjoy watching on Twitch, right? Your subs aren't yours. You can go sub to whoever else you want to, but there's a lot of people that feel like, oh, well, they're in this stream. Why aren't they in my stream? I own them. And I think that, like, you know, as far as like, if you're worried about your viewership and somebody stealing your views, that's definitely something larger than, you know, just who is in your stream. It's like you need to reevaluate what you're doing and watch your VODs, figure out where you can grow, evolve your content. If you're not changing, if you're doing the same thing all the time, like you're just never going to grow. And I don't mean like just playing the same game all the time. I mean evolving you as a person and as a streamer. You can play the same game every day and it'd be different every single day, and you're still evolving. So,
Acid Gaming asked, "How long do these go on?" Do you mean the interview? Until the person I'm talking to gets tired of talking to me. I don't. I switched my work schedule just in case we had to go later tonight. So I don't work till 1:00 tomorrow. So I don't have anywhere to be. I'm sure Enviro does, but yeah, we just kind of play it by ear. I think last time Raven and I went about 2 hours or so. So probably about 2 hours or so. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that, Acid. And hello, Ryushura. How are you? Dinner was sexy. Thank you. JT said, "It's so true." I'm sorry, guys. I'm just trying to catch up on chat. Your everyday life comes first. Yeah, exactly. You can't complain about growth if you're not putting anything into it. That's a really good point. Yeah. Like, for instance, I did so much research and watched videos and constantly changing stuff. And I think that's important. Why aren't they in my stream? If you're saying these words, then you need to look at what they are doing while live that you aren't doing. That's a really good point. Because I think a lot of people, think like, hey, why isn't so-and-so in my stream tonight? Like, I think that's a lot. I think you see a lot of your newer, smaller streamers thinking that because they're out for as many views and followers as they can get. Where were we? Okay, here's another one. What defines you as a streamer?
I think more than anything, my personality and my sense of like pushing myself out there, making myself vulnerable to people so that they can relate, and maybe at the end of the day they feel comfortable enough to come back and talk about what's going on in their life. My personality, obviously that's why I stream. But I think what defines me more than anything is me not being afraid to just be myself and feel vulnerable to other people. I've talked a lot about my mental health on stream. I've mentioned a few things on stream that I really, at the time, I was pretty uncomfortable. Like, I wish I wouldn't have said it at that time. And now that I have, I got a lot of messages after the fact. And I realized at that time that people need to hear that. They need to hear that a person like me, who, you see Twitch streamers sometimes as these people that are kind of larger than you, or that they have this like bigger like orb around them, that that nothing can kind of hurt them. And the fact that we're all vulnerable, we're all human, that relation of the human condition, I think that's what defines me as a streamer.
Mm-hmm.
It made me realize that people need to hear that. They need to feel like somebody else that they maybe admire, and I'm not saying that they do admire me. I'm just saying,
No,
like,
I get you.
if it's one of those things that, like, I feel like it's not. I don't think it's important to like have mental health like advice streams on Twitch. I don't think that's something people should do.
No,
unless you're like
a licensed professional, right?
Correct. And I would never do that. However, I think that I know personally, for me, I have had a friend who is a fairly large streamer share his experience of, going to therapy. And there was a moment that I was, and he has done this like over and over and over. But he posted something about, feeling like suicidal, or having like some of these feelings. And at the time I was like sitting in my bathroom, and I watched this video, and I was just bawling, like my eyes out. I was bawling because at that moment I felt like I needed to hear that, and I felt like I needed to know that I was important to someone. And he wasn't talking to me, it was just a clip,
Mm-hmm.
but it just, I feel like making sure that we're all kind of safe in our own, like we're always feeling so safe, put yourself out there so that people can relate. So
Yeah, I think it and like you kind of said this, like it humanizes the streamer, because you're right. A lot of people look up to streamers. They're just not. They don't stream themselves. They don't have the ability to. That's just not what they want to do. They just want to watch somebody play video games or cook or do whatever for a few hours, a night, 3 days a week. So I think to kind of put yourself out there, a humanizes you, and he lets people know, like, oh, wow, I have this same issue, or I'm going through this rough time too. I'm not the only one.
mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, I had a moment after that stream, and I was like, man, I really should not have said that, because for me, like, I don't want people to know that I had those thoughts, that I felt those things. It was a long time ago, but
Right.
and I haven't even brushed the surface of like what I actually, like, my mental health struggles. And I intend to on a podcast. I don't really, and I'll do it on Twitch, but like I got probably 3 or 4 DMs after the fact that basically, like, it made me realize that this is important to people. Like, they need this. I needed it. And I didn't realize for someone else. And I think for me, that was one of the most like defining moments in like being here on Twitch, was realizing you have a bigger impact that's so much larger than yourself without even realizing it.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I totally agree, and I get you on that. And it's tough putting yourself out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's certainly not easy. And I think like myself, have drawn courage and inspiration from other people, especially as of late. Like I honestly think, had I not and I'm not trying to put anybody on a pedestal or anything, but I'm going to. If I hadn't stumbled upon Tiny Stream one random January afternoon on my day off, probably wouldn't be streaming. Definitely wouldn't be. If I was streaming, I definitely wouldn't be doing this, and I'd be streaming, Pokemon with my crummy with my crappy audio, and I probably wouldn't be all that happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
I think we all have those people, though. I have them, and they're my friends. They're my good friends. Like, had I never found Clintus, I would have never gone to Guardian Con. Had I never met Lono, I would never like have all these amazing people in my life. Like, when we met, like, we connected on a really deep, like, mental, like, health, physical level, like, of things that you can't just like undo those ties once they're done.
right.
And those people, whether they're on your level as a friend or not, they still inspire you. They still make you want to be a better creator. And I think it's important to have those people. It's not putting people on a pedestal. It's admiring the hard work and dedication that they have put into their craft. It's a craft, and you admire their craft. It's kind of like having an artist friend, right? Someone paints a gorgeous picture. That may not be your picture, but you can admire the beauty and like the precision, and have like draw inspiration from that for your own, for your own craft. It's not copying, it's just drawing that inspiration from whatever they're doing. And I think it's important that you have those as a Twitch streamer. Like, even if they're not Twitch streamers, it's important to have people that inspire you, people that make you want to be a better content creator, where you're always trying to do the next thing. So
I'll take it one step further. Like when I went looking for a new community, it wasn't just like I didn't want to be just inspired to be a better, content creator. Like I wanted to be inspired just to be a better person, And I think, I
exactly.
think if a streamer can do that, be like, yeah, it's great. Like, hey, Enviro inspired me to get back into streaming and to, you know, get this, that, and the other thing, and try doing this. But I think if you can be like, wow, Enviro, like I go in Enviro stream, and she just, they just make me want to be a better me. They're just positive, and like that's what I aspire to be. I think if a streamer can do that, which I think just about everybody in this community does, I think that's winning right there.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that you know, always evolving your craft is also like goes back to like you you are the brand.
Right.
You, right? It's you. It's not like the video game. Anybody can play a video game, right? Anybody can. You can, I can put Shadow up and have him put his paw on a controller. But at the same time, like you are the brand. You have to understand to evolve your own brand, you have to evolve your own self and understand why you're doing this to begin with and figure out what is the next thing that you need to like further that whole like motive that you have, whether it be, I want to be the best, bloodhound person, blah blah blah, in
Mm-hmm.
Apex. Well, that's you are doing that. You have to understand how to do that, and you're evolving yourself, your skill set. I can't like very well just press the slide button. If like before I go live, I think about so many things. I think about exactly like maybe some topics that I want to touch on, some DMs maybe I got the day before that people were asking me questions. Maybe we hit on those topics, even if they're not in chat. Those things are like relevant to evolving the human experience.
Right. And I think you said like people like the game. I'm trying to think of the right word. The game is just like the tool to draw people in. You're
One
you're
of those
right.
tools
Like
in the
yeah,
toolbox.
yeah. Ooh, sorry, police car just went screaming down the street. Okay.
I thought that was
Um,
me.
no, I'm like, wow. Like I don't usually see police cars going down that street. That's weird. But the game's the tool. You're the person, I guess, the craftsman with the tool. Like,
Mhm.
and people stay to see your work. I mean, anybody can stream a video game, but how you craft that game, is what people stay for. And I'm sure there are people that lurk in the shadows that they just want to see somebody play the new Resident Evil 2 or 3 game. They don't care if somebody's on,
Right.
they don't care if somebody's on camera or not. They just want to see a video game get played because they, for whatever reason, can't play it or want to know if it's any good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's. I just want to take a look at chat. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not
We
ignoring
could get a little
chat.
carried
Yeah.
away. I can talk forever. I'm sorry.
No. It's quite all right. I know Ryu Sure was saying a couple things. Ryu Sure, I really appreciate you coming out. JT Gamer. That's what draws me to new streams is when I watch them. Is how they are like, how the environment is, and how they treat their viewers. Yeah, that's a good point. I've straight up unfollowed people like 5 minutes after I follow them if they're not talking to chat or B not acknowledging new followers, and it's not like they're getting new followers like every 30 seconds, like especially like if an alert goes off.
Yeah.
So I think JT hit on a something big there. It's important is how they treat their community.
Treat their viewers like they own them or that you should, this whole stuff that goes around Twitter. I really try to stay out of like the Twitter drama because at the same like there's a certain point where it wears down the actual like conversation of why we shouldn't be asking for subs. Like, you shouldn't ever ask for subs. People should just want to sub to you. Not everybody can afford things on Twitch.
Right.
That is just the way it works. And I'm lucky enough to have, a lot of people that I know that are very generous to gift subs to those people that, like, I have a lot of kids that are, like, in my community. They come from Clint's chat, and usually they're all the good kids. The ones that are, like, annoying, they stay in his chat because, I'm lewd. I'm pretty, like, brash. I don't really put up with shit. There's the mod Enviro, and then there's the streamer Enviro. The streamer Enviro is a lot nicer, but at the same time, like, I'm a lot, like, quicker to be, like, done. And the mod Enviro is just kind of like a, I don't know, bulwark. I don't
No, I get that, and because I've streamed, I've modded in channels before, and I think as a mod, you kind of have, you're kind of on you kind of keep people on a shorter leash, like, because you're not going to let somebody come in and badmouth.
Well, I've learned to, like, let it go most of the time. Like, I've learned to, like, play with my food. It's more fun that way. Mainly because you can kind of figure out the type of person they are when you do that. Because sometimes people just don't know and they don't understand Twitch. And not all people are bad. They just might not understand, like, what the heck is going on. Like, there are people that are kids. They just think that they own the world, and maybe they just need a harsh reality check, and then they're cool and it's fine. Like, I've had some, like, pretty harsh exchanges with people that are now, I guess, my friends. They, like, people that had, like, threatened to report me for messaging them, and it's interesting. Like, it's all about, like, timing, I think. And, like, sometimes for me, I get really not even just as a mod, but, like, as a streamer too, I really just want the best for people, and I don't think many people understand that. They think, oh, well, you're this big, powerful streamer mod, and you just think you're so awesome, or you have so much power. And it's not. It's more about the experience for everyone else. And once you start to tamper with that, that's when I'm, like, kind of put on that persona of, that's where Enviro Sassy came from. That's why I have that emote, because I am a sassy person. I'm very sassy, and sometimes it's like people don't get it. Like, sometimes I'll be talking to somebody and I'll say something. I'm like, that was a dick thing to say. Why did you just say that? And, like, I forget that not everybody knows that I'm a sassy person. So
yeah, and I think I haven't had, that much, believe it or not, that much trouble with trolls since I've come back. And that was another reason why I didn't come back, is I didn't have, and we don't have to go down this rabbit hole yet. I didn't have any mods that I trusted yet. That took it took really. I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna stream, and we'll see how it goes. And I want to say that first day, I think Drydwin came in, and probably Taryn at one point came in, and I was like, well, boom, there's two mods right there, because I knew them from Tiny's community. I was like, well, these two people kind of get it and get me, I think. So after that, we were off to the races. But but years ago, I'd get trolls out the wazoo. But I had mods that had zero tolerance. And I think, you do. I think if you do this long enough, and you kind of said this, like, who's stupid and who's an asshole.
Yeah.
And who's,
Sometimes they get harder to read, though. Sometimes they fly under the radar. Like, I dealt with, like, this troll for, like, right before they put in the new Twitch ban, like, IP stuff. I had this troll that came in initially, and, like, we had a whole, like, 15-minute thing about it. It's really funny. It's in my highlights if you want to watch it. It's a funny video. I cut out the good stuff in it, though. There was a part that it was, like, kind of a little violation of TOS and what I was talking about. Well, not violation, but it could be construed as that. Anyway, I'm glad I took it out, because those new regulations rolled out, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess, glad I did that. But anyway, they came back every day, and like they would be kind of like, it's hard because sometimes people in the queer community are really, really lewd, and they're really brash, and they had no idea what the hell they're doing in terms of like their own sexuality. And so, they flew under the radar until they said one thing. Like, I was watching them. I had my mods watching them. I like was keeping my eye on every word that they said to see if I could pair it with something, and then sure enough, they slipped up. It's all it takes is one slip up for you to, to recognize that. Ow, my foot's asleep. Sorry. But yeah, anyway, I mean, it's all about reading people. Like, you do this enough, you spend enough time on Twitch, you learn to read people, and maybe like I'm also fairly decent at reading humans in general. Like, I can tell by people's patterns and how frequently, like, when they're communicating what's going on, if they're upset, like, I mean, slight changes in mood by like a simple like word, and I guess it maybe comes from like, my background of politics and trying to like, read into other things, and also like my mom being like a therapist and always like overanalyzing me. I always learned to read when she was starting to do things and to understand her behavior. So I don't know, maybe that's me, but I personally do not. I think everybody should have a mod. I don't think it's necessary though. I don't think there's anything wrong with modding your own stream. Like, I've gotten to the point now that I do need mods. Like, I feel like I need them to be present in my chat. I need like, if I won't mod somebody that I don't think is going to be there. If you're not there, then I'm going to remove that. And I've given people mod. I've taken it away because I'm like, well, you're not really here, so I'm just going to take it away because I don't want you to feel like you have to be here.
Right.
Moderating is something that like is a thing you put on someone. You want people to enjoy the stream, not just have to work during a stream. So, like, if I wanted to mod people, but I want them to enjoy the stream. So I'm not going to do that to somebody that I want them to just be able to chill, relax, and enjoy the stream.
And I think, I think, streamers in the LGBT community are kind of they're at a disadvantage to begin with because they're a target. You're a target. So now, and I used to mod in one, and anybody that came in, I would just sit in. I mean, it's a shame that it's not a channel anymore because with this new mod mode and everything, someone like me's wet dream to just sit in there and just be like, oh, who the hell's this person? Oh, they've had an account for 6 years. They're probably legit. Huh. This person just made an account yesterday. Wonder if they're real. And
there's a lot of tools in the toolbox where you can figure it out. Twitch is giving us more and more tools to understand and evolve this chat. Like, this is a chat. This is a forum. This is a discourse. Like, we are here talking. There's a moving chat. People are here. We are talking, but we're also having a conversation with, I guess 8 other people right now. It might be like 15. It might be 10, like 2. Like, it's a discourse, and I think like there has to be a like moderation and mediation in terms of like topics. So mods are pivotal, but at the same time, like, if you're just hitting that go live button for the first time and you don't really have anybody, it's okay. Mod your own stream. Like, pay attention to chat. You'll learn that, who you can trust. It's pretty important to have trust and faith in your moderators. If especially on Discord, because they can kick people out of Discord. I mean, heck, I had a friend that had somebody make his Discord for him, and the guy got really mad because he decided to switch it around, and then he just deleted his Discord.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, like, putting you're basically putting, it's not as much as like an editor, but you are basically putting, especially now with ModView, you're putting your hands, like, your screen is somebody else's hand. Like, you can see the words that I have, blocked out, and that, I mean, for some, like, what if you have your last name on there? What if you have your full name on there? What if you don't want people to know that stuff? You know what I mean? Like, it's important that you trust someone fully. So.
Yeah, no, and it's funny you mentioned the Discord thing. I had Taryn. I gave Taryn essentially complete control of my Discord. I was like,
Yeah, be careful. I mean, not that I'm saying that she would
Right,
do
and,
that,
she,
but
and
be
I
careful.
and
I asked Tiny. I was like, "Wait." She joked. She's like, "I'm gonna go delete the Discord." I was like, "Wait, can you do that?" I don't think I gave you permission to do that. Did you? And she's like, "No, only you can do that. You're the owner." I'm like, "Oh." I mean, it's just like one of those like, "Oh fuck" moments. Like, is that can you? Because of what happened to my friend. Not that I ever think that Tiny in a million
Right.
years would ever do that, but like, people are vindictive as fuck. Like, and I don't know why, but they just are.
That's when that's.
Sorry, am I okay cursing on your stream? I guess.
Oh
I should
yeah,
cuss.
that's.
Okay.
I said fuck earlier, so you're all right.
Okay.
We're all. I think we're all adults in here. We've all said the F word.
I know. I just, I should have asked.
Yeah, no, what, and I jokingly said to Taryn, and I was like, you could pretty much delete this whole thing, like if you like got sick of me or got pissed off. And she's like, honestly, I would never do that. I would just leave. But it's still, people. We're we're vindictive. People are vindictive.
I mean, I'm not. I would never do that. I am the type of person that if you fuck me over, I'm just done. Like, that goes for relationships, that goes for people in general. I just cut, like, I cut my emotional range with you. I may interact with you on Twitch still, but like, here's this box that you fit in. And I don't mean that in like a bad way. I just mean I distance myself from those type of people that have hurt me. I just can't, like, I forgive them, but here's your emotional box right here that you fit into for me. And like, it's happened to me a lot on Twitch. Unfortunately, for like as little as I've been on Twitch, I've had so many things happen. I've been kicked off of teams. I've been and I don't really know why. I didn't do anything other than just be me. So I don't know.
No,
We can go into it, but I don't know.
I get what you're saying, and yeah, people, it's tough to kind of. Oh, that's kind of a tough.
It's a sensitive subject.
Yeah.
It is. And I'm not talking about like there's no like drama with people I know right now.
Right.
I'm just saying like there's things that have happened that I didn't quite understand, and like I'm just not that type of person to ever do that to people. And I think it's important to like take a moment when those types of things happen to you to realize that like everybody has their own goals and their own drives, what they want in their life. Maybe you were just not the right person to have in their life. Maybe you just weren't right for that moment. Maybe, you didn't have the same goals as they did. And that's why you shouldn't be doing what you were doing then, And I think that's what I did. And I'm still friends with those people, all of them. There's only one person on Twitch, and she was a viewer of mine that I kind of had to cut all ties with. And she was a really awesome kid. But she got too comfortable in my chat and spammed a lot of things and was saying very cruel and mean things. I banned her. And I said, listen, let's give it 3 months. Let's just see how it goes. And every stream I would get off and there would be 300 messages from her.
Oh, geez.
So, yeah. So then it continued into, and she was not just in my streams, she was in my friend's streams. She's still in my friend's streams, but she was also in like, it was just me and like Clint, and we both had to just block and ban her.
Oh, wow.
Because it got so toxic. Yeah. And I have no ill will towards her. But that's the only time that has happened, because she just didn't understand that like you can't be that way towards a human. Like you can't do those things. You can't say those things. She just had some mental issues that she was not very well taken care of, I'm guessing, as a kid. Like she needed attention. She needed somebody to take her to get help. And I told her that. I said, talk to a counselor, go to your school, talk to your counselor, get help, because you need it. Like you need help. You do not call people these things that you're calling them. And it started to get to where I was hurt. Like, yeah, I actually was starting to feel that I was this terrible human. And I will never allow myself to be made to feel that way by a viewer. So, or anyone on Twitch. So,
or anybody in general. You shouldn't be, made to feel.
Yeah, no, anyone in general. But that's the only time that's ever happened to me, where I just had to say, no, not gonna, nope, Like the only time I ever interact with her, she'll comment sometimes on my YouTube videos, but other than that, you know, I don't have any interaction at all. So.
All right. Give me 1 second before we. I just gotta do something.
Do you mind if I go make another beverage? Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna. Do you want to take a quick break?
Yeah, let's take a quick break and we can answer whatever.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Before you run off, I just have to. I gotta do this real quick.
Run away from you.
I have that effect on people. There we go.
You didn't have to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. I will be, guys. We're gonna take a quick break. I'll leave this screen up. Thank you, Twitch alerts. All right, guys. We'll be right back in we'll say 5 minutes or so. Take a break, get a drink, grab a snack. And yeah, we'll see everybody back here in a few minutes.
All right. Right back.
I'm gonna get another root beer because root beer is amazing. Oh God, it's dark out here. Cool. Do 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 do. Dinner with chairs.
I'm hoping to get a new chair soon. My brother, so my family came over today and they messed up my chair. I sat down. I was like, "What is going on?"
All right, I got some more dinner. I got another soda. It's not Coke. It's not cola though. It's this is black cherry.
You know, that's my favorite, second favorite type of soda.
It's funny. I was talking to somebody last night about novelty sodas. And I think they said cream soda, which I think I don't like cream soda. I feel like cream soda's, but I do feel like cream soda's underrated. But black cherry and root beer are my two favorites. What is so?
Oh, okay.
So you said black cherry is your second. What's your first?
Cherry Coke.
Cherry Coke.
Yeah, I like cherry.
Yeah, these guys make pretty good. I'm pretty sure they're local because it's called Adirondack, and that's named after the mountains. So those mountains aren't everywhere. So I'm pretty sure they're a somewhat local brewer of sodas. They have a few different flavors, but that's the only one of theirs I get. Oh yeah, you got the same brand, Crucial? Yeah, it is good. I love it. I love it. Okay, where did we leave off? What to find you? Then I asked something else. We're gonna come back to that one.
Did you? I
What's?
think somebody had a question in the
Oh,
chat. I don't know if you want
let
to.
me.
Does it matter? Does he have to redeem points? I
No,
don't
we
know.
don't.
It's up to you. You're the host here.
That's fine. Well, where was the question? How far up is it?
JT Gamer. I can tell. I can read it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So they said, if you are, I was wondering if you had issues or aren't friends with someone like IRL. If they come in a stream, do you just act nice and stuff, or do you ban anyone that you think may cause issues? So,
It's a good
is this
question.
for me? I can, because I can definitely answer this.
Yeah, if you want to answer, if you want to go first, and then I'll follow up.
Yeah, so I actually had a problem with somebody that I knew IRL that watching my stream and would text message me about the things that I was saying on stream, and I did ban them. So because I just didn't want that ever getting on to Twitch, because it's not like everybody has a perspective, in terms of like
Mm-hmm.
relationships. We'll go ahead and put that out there. I don't trust that person to not say things that may be something that I'm not ready to divulge to an entire crowd of people. That I've divulged to a lot of people on Twitch, but maybe not everyone on Twitch. Like that's my time and place when I decide. It's like being gay. Like when I decide to come out, and talk about what I am. That's my time and place to do that. And specifically about my mental health. And that's what it was about.
Okay.
I was not being apparently as forthcoming as I should have been about my mental health. And I have things that I've worked through for many years of my life, and I had a very good handle on those things. With medication and therapy, and also just self control. I don't know why my video keeps going crazy. Self control.
It looks good.
But when things happen in your life, like someone dies, it changes your entire like mental health like spectrum of like your head, like some event came in. It's like basically like an earthquake happened in your brain, right? And it changes everything. So I didn't trust that person to not say things that they were telling me in text message that I wasn't saying on Twitch. So, and yeah, it's my story, and I do plan on telling it. I am ready to talk about it. But that's my time to talk about it. I don't want somebody's individual experience, and I understand that everyone has their own perspective. Um, and when you have like a situation, like you have your perspective here looking at me, okay? We're having a conversation. You're in your own head, you're thinking your own thoughts, you have your own feelings. What you do and say has an effect on me. And that may cause initial reaction that you may not be expecting because you're not aware of what's going on inside me and inside my head. Right. So I think that more than anything, I don't want anyone taking that away from me. So,
but you don't owe anybody on like an explanation about like your mental health on Twitch. Like that's that's my opinion.
No,
but
I just think it was more of like I'm tainting that person in a bad way, which it's what I don't owe. That's also my experience. Like,
right.
I'm not one like. Let me just like. Let's just put this out there. I was married. I got a divorce. I have no ill will towards that human. I would never say anything bad about them. You know why? Because we had a mutual understanding of each other and that we were not supposed to be in that moment, like be together.
Right.
At the time, the things that, happened, it sucked, but now I'm like, I get it. You're happy. I'm really happy for you. I'm happy. And I just want to be myself. I want you to be yourself. But when something happens to where it causes you so much stress and so much heartache that, things break inside you, I think it's important to note that like your experience is worth talking about. And the reason why it's important to talk about is because it affected Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like it affected my streams a lot. And that's why I was talking about it, because I realized I was talking to my buddy Chuck about this. I didn't realize I was not being myself. I thought I could do without being lewd. I thought I could like completely like disregard that, and I can't. Like more than anything, never, ever, ever change who you are on this platform for someone else, ever.
I totally, excuse me, agree.
My 2 cents about that.
I guess I can piggyback on that. No one in my real life is on Twitch, with the exception being, so this what should be a 30-second story is going to be like a 2-minute story. So I'm a big NASCAR fan, if you can't tell by the stuff behind me. So there's no racing going on right now, obviously, because of everything that's going on. So now a lot of drivers are doing what's called iRacing. It's really cool. It's essentially them playing a video game that's like $900. So they have these giant rigs with these, driver seats, steering wheels, monitors all over the place. Anyway, one driver, he's a 7-time champion, just made a Twitch account. So I'm like, well, that's cool as shit. He's like one of my favorite drivers. Excuse me. I'm gonna follow him. So I go into his chat and I'm like, I wonder if my cousin, who does PR for him, is in there. So sure enough, there she is. Her last name and the number 48. So I was talking to her earlier today and last week, but that's literally the only time she's on Twitch, is once a week for, an hour for this iRacing event. Like, I don't think, like, she hasn't followed me or added me as a friend on here yet. But like nobody in my real life knows that I do this. And also, I would also add, just about everybody in my real life is also, 5.5 hours south of here. But that's, we don't have to get on that whole topic.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was shocked. I got a message today. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like shocked because I had my birthday stream yesterday, and I kind of like when I got off of it, I basically talked to you, Ryoko, because we were doing this interview,
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to make sure that we were like, I read your message. I didn't talk to you, but I read your message. But everyone else, I just kind of ignored and just like tuned out and like hung out with someone that I really wanted to hang out with. And the next day I like opened my phone and I looked at like my messenger, and it was like my best friend that I hadn't talked to in probably like 4 years. He was like, so you didn't tell me you're like online kind of famous now? And I'm like, what is going on? What are you talking about? And like he sent me this long message, and I was like, dude, like I didn't realize that putting myself out there, like I put that I'm live on Instagram. My Facebook's connected to my Instagram. Like I'm probably 5 people on Facebook, maybe 6 that are on Twitch. It's pretty. I don't really do that. I do to people I've met in real life, and I know them and I trust them, and I've known them for a fairly long amount of time. But I mean, that took like, the first time I added somebody on Facebook, it was literally like 7 or 8 months ago, and I've been on Twitch, I've been streaming for almost 2 years.
Right.
I have been on, but like my friends and family know that I stream. My nephew comes into my streams all the time, and we're pretty close. We talk about like stuff and things. He's not my nephew. He's my niece's husband. So
Right.
he'll come on my stream. One of my moderators I worked with in the legislature. Kind of crazy, but yeah. It's kind of crazy to me that he like came on Twitch and like was such like a thing on Twitch, like, and now he's like all over Twitch. He's all over all these streams, and I love it. I love that obviously, it's just kind of it's crazy. This was like 6 years ago, 7, 6. I don't know. He said maybe 8. I can't remember. He said it the other day, and I was like, what? It's kind of nutty to me.
Yeah, I think I have one coworker who knows that I stream because she's like texting me in the middle of it. She's like, "You need to talk more." I'm like, "Well, you're actually in here?" She's like, "No, I'm not." She's like, "I'm just watching. I'm not. I don't have an account." But she'll see my Instagram stories that I try and always throw up, before I go live. And she's like, "Your Instagram stories are always so funny. They crack me up." But yeah, I don't really have anybody. I have one friend back home that I haven't that I think like he's streamed a couple times, but I never told him uh, that I stream. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I don't know how that would go over. But I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'm streaming. I'm affiliate now." He'd be like, "What? Why the hell didn't you tell me?"
Yeah.
And it's not where it's not worth the hassle. Being like, "Hey, this is what I do when I'm not working,
Yeah, I
four
think
nights a week."
it's like where the passion lies. Like for me, like you're talking about IRL friends. The whole question is IRL friends. Well, I can tell you that like the guy that I play with on a daily basis, I consider him my IRL friend. We went to Guardian Con together. We roomed together at Guardian Con. We roomed together at PAX. Like we're IRL friends. We just don't live in the same city. He isn't my in real life friend. I know these people, Clintus, Lono, like they're my IRL friends. Like maybe not like IRL here, but like they're my friends. They're not just my online friends. They're
Right.
my friends,
No,
and like and that goes like yeah.
that's kind of what the relationship that I had with the friend. I say relationship as in the broadest of terms.
Right.
With the
Yeah, 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 yeah.
with my old roommate, like we met on Twitch. We became friends. Her and her then girlfriend were in Philadelphia one night for a show, a concert. I was like, well, I'm 45 minutes from Philly. They're like, well, come on out, come to the show. So like I drove out there, hung out with them, went to went to the bar, went to the a show, and like after that, we kind of just really hit it off. And a year later, we were roommates. Probably a
Yeah.
year and a half. But yeah, so I
Yeah.
can, at that point, I was like, well, we're not. They're not really online friends. They're friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Carrot followers asked, "Do you have an OnlyFans?" I don't know. I don't know what that is. OnlyFans.
It's a site that you can have a little bit more on the nudity, not nudity side.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Yeah, I definitely. I don't have one of those. I imagine. I don't know if anybody else in chat does. So I
I
don't
do
know.
not.
I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Well, I don't know if I'm. I guess I'm kind of flattered that your response was the sad face. That's.
Yeah, you should be. You should go get that. Go get that OnlyFans. Get up.
um.
I mean, maybe you can be their only fan as long as they.
Maybe.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe it's not a pay subscription. Maybe you guys be like, oh, no, I'm just kidding. Anyway,
Oh
it's the lewd
man.
Enviro coming out. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to be a professional Enviro.
Well, you see, I
Excuse me.
put on the bottom, right below us, I have, your name, your Twitch channel, and your hobbies, which are being a looter, shooter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it fits. It's all right.
It mean. It mean.
um.
I'm also a very professional person, so I try to make that it's like time and place, and anyway. Sorry.
I hear you. What is one of your favorite moments of your I guess your streaming career?
One of my favorite moments ever.
I guess ever.
Okay, if I'm gonna be honest, yesterday was probably the most amazing stream I've ever had in my entire streaming career. Um, not just because of my stream, but it started from from the moment it started, the day before my birthday, from 12 o'clock, literally on the dot. It made my entire birthday, and then it just kept going. And it was the first time that I really saw two of these communities that I have put so much love into come together into my community. And I'm talking about Clintus and Leno. And he came into my chat with his wife and hung out, and his whole community came into my chat.
That's
and
awesome.
Clintus and his wife sent me an amazing video that made me cry in my bathroom. Sorry, Clintus, but it happened. Because it was just it made me feel like for the first time I know that I matter. I get that I matter, but sometimes these people are this is what they do for a living, and you kind of think, well, oh yeah, I'm friends with them, but do they really care? I know I care about them, but I realized that it's mutual yesterday. Not just that, but the love from the community as a whole. I had the best time playing with my best friend online. I had all of the collective, so many people sharing moments. I mean, the gifts and the donations alone, I wasn't even looking. It boggled my mind, but that's not even set that aside, right? Talking about the interaction in chat. I was looking at my stats this morning, which I rarely do. And I was like, that happened? This was just us. You realize that you made an impact. Yesterday was the first day that I was like, I feel like this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I felt that a lot before, but yesterday I knew it and I believed it wholeheartedly. So I guess that would be it.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
Yeah, it seemed, I was, bouncing, what was yesterday? Oh, yesterday was Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was bouncing
I guess
out.
it would be Friday into Saturday because it started off on Friday. You have
Okay.
I don't want to discount that. The Friday moment, 12 o'clock on Friday, something happened and it made my day. And it literally I was like, wow, the timing of this shit. And and it just kept going. And I was like, what is happening? All of these things are happening. And I'm not gonna lie, I am not a birthday person.
Oh,
I
no?
actually was really, really nervous for that stream. I don't get nervous for streams. I don't. But yesterday I was so nervous to go live. I was like, okay, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be okay. Don't expect anything. You're gonna be fine. Just chill, play with Dave. Whatever happens, happens. Just enjoy playing with your best friend, hanging out with this person that you know is gonna be there in chat, and the rest will come. That was it.
Yeah, and you always, seem to be, up and, energetic and positive on stream. And yesterday that was, it was even more evident. It was just, you had, just being in and out of there last night looked like everybody, even chat was having a fun time, which is important too. It's great that you're having fun, but if chat's not enjoying it, then
yeah, exactly. Everybody was having a good time. People, I could barely read chat. People popping off, talking to each other. I'm like, oh my god, there's so many things happening. We're having conversations. We're like, this is just flowing. It just kept flowing and flowing and flowing, and I was like, what is going on? And then I'm not gonna lie, I got off and I just started bawling. I was crying and just I just felt so much. I was so overwhelmed, with love and support, and I knew that was where I should have been. And I knew that the way that I've been feeling was right. The things that I had felt were right. And it's weird being I don't care about numbers. I hide my view count. I hide my sub count. I hide all of it. I rarely look at it. I don't really look at how much money I'm making. I don't look at, I will do that usually to see it once the payout comes, if I can afford to put that back into the stream. But generally, and I do look at the stats. I'll do it probably once every other day just to kind of see, okay, is there something that I can kind of tweak or something like that? But I don't really look at that kind of stuff. And I just, it goes to show me, like, I've been realizing how much I've evolved as a content creator. You know, I've always been me sitting in this, like, not this chair, but a chair. And I've always been me being here in a chair. And I put a lot of my own money into the stream, but I've also, like, anything I get from the stream generally either goes to the community or it goes into it, you know? And it's like, this is what I want to do for my life. I want to make content, not just here on Twitch, but like, I want to change the landscape of the queer community in terms of content and what people see and what's acceptable to other people. And like, that's why, and this is going to sound really silly, but that's why Schitt's Creek is such a big deal for me. Like, Dan Levy changed the landscape of the queer community and how it's seen across the nations, Canada and the United States, everywhere. Like, there was a fucking billboard of two men kissing on Santa Monica Boulevard. Like,
Oh wow.
He changed so many things with this show. He wrote it, and it's such an endearing message, is that love, not just love as far as like two men or two women, not love as in family love and support, is what is needed in the world. We need to support each other and give each other and lift each other up. And I want to do that for Twitch. And lately, I've been feeling that I'm going in that right direction. And it's been a struggle for me. It really has. It's been a struggle in terms of like what defines you as a content creator, you know? And like, I used to listen to people talk about it, and it's like, well, how do you know? What's your brand? I don't know. Like, what do I want? I don't know. I'm streaming because I enjoy it, but what do I want? Like, what is the larger purpose in this? And now, like, you know, with starting the collective, you know, going back to where we first started this conversation, knowing, like, putting all these things together. And like, the funny thing is like, most of the creators that inspire me are not queer. Dan Levy is the only one that is. And you know, I admire him and his writing and how he has changed the view of without making it seem like, because queer characters and queer people are always like, there's always something with them, right? There's always a problem. Right. There's always something, and that's the thing, is that there's not with him, with the show. And that's what I want to do. I want to show that we're the same and that we all need love and support, you know, and we're all the same together. It's not allies versus LGBTQ. We're fucking the same. And I think that, to me, that's so important. It really is. Like, we are nothing without the people that support us. Nothing. Like, I didn't have that growing up. I didn't have that support. My mom didn't, you know, she didn't come to my wedding. She was on and off with me being gay. It was a phase, you know, and like, as a kid, I wanted to be a boy. And, you know, growing up, I was like, well, am I trans? I don't know. And then I realized along the way of me, like, contemplating this, that I'm not. I don't want to do that. I am very happy with who I am as a person and being non-binary. But I think it's important to note that I had a supportive parental system and family. Like, she kept me in the closet for my brothers for 5 years because she was, and my whole family, she was so scared that I would, you know, she would look bad on them. And when I finally told my brother, when he came to my graduation, my girlfriend was there, and he like gave her a hug, and he was like, take care of her. And I'm like, did he know that? He's like, no, he knows you're gay. And so that's kind of like how I came out. It was like when I was 26 to them, and they have been my support system for me. They're great. I love them. They are very supportive. My brothers are so supportive. They are my family now, though. So, you know, but I had such a mental blockade in terms of like being gay and like not being okay with it. And like, why am I this terrible human when I feel like I have such good morals and values and I treat people so well and love and support others? Like, why is that the thing that is against everything else? And it should never be that way.
Right.
So for me, that's why I'm so defensive over allies, because I think it's very, very important that we highlight them and that we make sure that they feel comfortable enough to support us, like, outside of like saying, no, yeah, gay people are cool. No, I think that us backing them means just as much as them backing us in some respects, because the larger picture is what we're looking at here, right?
Right. And that's a good point. You don't hear a lot about the Allies, and maybe it's because it's not really their story that's being I guess told, and I get that makes sense, but
I get what you mean. I do. I do get what you mean. Sorry, my dog's going crazy. I'm gonna mute real quick.
no, you're good. I want to do.
I guess my point more than anything is it's not about us versus them.
Right.
And I think a lot of times that it might just be me. Maybe this is me being me, and I get not a lot of people feel that way, but I think that a lot of people feel that way. Oh my God, Shadow, please. Sorry guys. That's Shadow. He's in the bedroom because he can't behave himself. I think he's barking at the bathroom. I'm not sure why.
At the bathroom.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Yeah, I think he's barking at the bathroom. But I think that it's kind of important to note, like, and this is something I get hung up on with people. I think that it isn't there. It's not about their story. They're our stories, and like I think that life is a human experience, and I don't necessarily think that like I would be like it would be not our story. It would be not their story. I'm sitting here talking about my mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is my mother's story. The fact that she never supported, her daughter and being gay. That's her story. And she could have been an ally.
Right, and I think that's
another,
and I think that's something you see is people, and maybe this is cold, and I apologize if it is, but those people that they're going to end up being on the wrong side of history when it's all said and done. That history is going to remember these people as people that did not support essentially a marginalized group of people, and that's nobody wants to be. I mean, I don't know. That's just
right.
that's.
I just feel like we need our allies so that we do have our history, if that makes any sense. So that we go down in the history books, so that we are here. We're not just marginalized, so we can become non-marginalized. I think that's why it's important to support, like, have those people be with us versus be separated from us. Like,
Right.
If that makes any sense.
No, I got you. I get you. I agree. This next one, it's kind of, I think we've kind of been beating around the bush with it. But who or what inspires you? Now, I guess not necessarily. I guess on as far as streaming goes. Well, we'll say both. Both as far as streaming goes, and I guess just how as far as life goes.
So I kind of touched on all three of those. As a content creator, Clintus has always been an inspiration to me because he cares about his community. He is an amazing human. He's an amazing dad, and he's a good friend of mine. Say No to Rage, aka Lono, has always inspired me in the fact that he is always evolving and pushing his content, and he has always been on the outside of kind of the fray in terms of like directories go. Like he usually sits on top of certain directories, but it's inspirational to me that he has talked about so many things, his mental health, and gotten through so much in terms of like he may not be the person that like he might have had beef with like top people in the directories, and like he pushed through that. But also like the people that really inspired me are the ones that keep coming back to my chat every day. The people that believe in me inspire me. It's hard for me to say one specific person, but the people that push me, right? I have a number of conversations both with Lono and Clintus and my chat, and they make me want to make more content. They want me to like widen what I'm doing. There's a reason why I created a YouTube channel, like because I was listening to like Lono talk about like YouTube, blah blah blah, and discoverability, and like Harris Heller, and like it pushed me to do that. And then there's a certain individual right now that is really kind of defining what, like, not defining, but like they're making me want to do what I want. They push me towards that, and whether they want to or not, they just do. And nothing they say, it's just me knowing that I should do these things, and then believing in me, which means a lot to me. And then of course, like out of like big picture, Dan Levy and Richard Gere, my two biggest like inspirational people in my entire life, I think.
Why?
I know it's weird.
Why Richard Gere? Just out of curiosity.
So when I was a kid, I was obsessed with Richard Gere, like obsessed, like in a very unhealthy way.
He's an attractive man, even.
Yeah, he's an attractive man.
Even today,
he is. He's a Buddhist, and he has this holistic view of the world. And so when I learned about him, and like I watched, I watched Runaway Bride, and like when I was a kid, and I was like, oh my god, this guy, who is this? Who is this? And I watched Pretty Woman, and then I literally have every Richard Gere movie ever made at my house, because that was me. And I thought he was an amazing human. Like, he was a philanthropist. He goes every single year and spends 6 months in Tibet to try to like there's like a whole free Tibet movement. And it just always inspired me that somebody has something larger than themselves that they believe in, and they have these things that they want to see in the world that change. And that was the first person in my life that ever saw me to see a worldview. And like, for most people, they laughed at me and they're like, oh, Richard Gere, like, but for me, I saw him as somebody that was like, you do things that not many people do. I mean, he got banned from the Oscars for saying that, like, bad things about China at the time when like things were like really volatile with Tibet and China. And for me, like, that's pretty big. Like, I don't know, to be like, to risk everything of your career.
Yeah, really, that's a big deal.
To get banned from the Oscars, like, come on, man. Like, that doesn't happen. Like, it just, I don't know. Like, those two people, and those specifically, have inspired me. And they both enacted change. And I think that for me in my life, that's all I ever really wanted to do, is make the world a better place, inspire change within others. So.
Yeah, that's wow. Yeah, I wasn't expecting the Richard Gere.
You want to hear something
response.
Funny?
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to hear something funny though about those two people? This is the funny thing. Okay, you ready? So there is an episode of Schitt's Creek where David is flipping through a magazine. He's like, "Did you know Richard Gere's middle name is Tiffany?" And I literally, when that happened, I like died. I was like, "What? Oh my god, holy shit!" And now, even more so, now that I've come to admire Dan Levy as like a creator, because he not only does he play David in the show, guys, he wrote, produced, show ran, and directed the show. Many episodes in the show. So yeah, he's not just an actor. He is the show. That's his show.
That's a lot of. Yeah. That's a lot of. One of those guys. I forget what NPR show I was listening to, because my ride to work is literally 2 minutes, so I don't get to hear much. But one of those guys was just on NPR.
Oh really?
Or some public radio. I'll have to after we're done.
I'll find it. Don't worry. I'll figure it out.
I was like, oh, I gotta tell Enviro about that, but I completely forgot. What is it?
Thank you for telling me.
Is Schitt's Creek like on a streaming service?
Yeah, Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
It, go ahead and check out. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it. Go check out Schitt's Creek. I like literally have gotten everyone watching this. Madam Crumpet, Lona's wife, today was like, "Hey, by the way, we started watching that show." I'm like, "Yeah."
Well, I do need a new show. I just
it's so good. Oh my god.
I just rewatched.
I'm excited just talking about it.
I just rewatched Umbrella Academy.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one. Yeah, they need to make
You're watching it? Sorry.
Well, now I know what I'm doing after stream tonight. I'll be watching Schitt's Creek.
Enjoy it. I think you will love it.
Who all is in it?
Eugene Levy. So okay, so the whole thing, like Eugene Levy, Dan Levy, and then Catherine O'Hara.
Oh,
I
wow.
can't remember yeah, she plays the mother. Oh my god, she's amazing. Oh, the bebe. Yeah, she's great. She's so the show was like essentially created by Eugene and Dan Levy. Eugene Levy is the dad from American Pie.
Right.
His son David is Dan Levy.
Oh, wow. So it's his actual son in
Yes,
real
his
life.
actual son. And also, there's his David's sister is also in it. Not he doesn't play his sister, but she's also in it. It's a Canadian show though.
Okay.
It's good.
Well, I know
I promise it won't be disappointing. I promise.
Eugene Levy.
Oh, go ahead.
No, well, I was gonna say Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara they've done a lot of stuff together.
They have. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Essentially every film Christopher Guest has made, those two have been in like Best in Show, For Your Consideration.
Yeah.
And they're great, like quirky dark comedies. That if you like those two together, you'll love. Best in Show is probably the best one. It's about a dog show.
Yeah, I've seen Best in Show. I met Parker Posey twice. She's kind of crazy. You want to hear a wonderful story about Parker Posey?
I do.
So I went to go see a play with her and Matthew Broderick in New York, and I was waiting outside because this is what you do when you're like a kid, a theater kid, and like you go wait outside to like meet the actors and whatever. So she comes out in fucking rollerblades, dude, and she just rollerblades up. But that's so her. Like, that's so her personality. Matthew Broderick, however, is really nice. He's a good dude.
Oh, you got to meet him after the show too?
Yeah, I met Nathan Lane too, but he was not as nice. Not as nice, unfortunately.
I got to meet a friend of mine and his wife took me to see Bob Saget like a month before I moved 3 years ago. And, it's...
Oh, yeah?
Hilarious. Obviously he's, raunchy and, that's just his comedy style. But really down to earth. We waited, a whole bunch of people waited for him after the show. Came out, signed autographs, took pictures with everyone, very, polite. And he's apparently originally, I don't know if originally from Philly or he lived in Philly for a number of years when he was younger. So, there's a lot of people there, and, he took time and, got a picture. Cool. Yeah, got pictures with just about everybody.
Yeah, very, I don't know, he seems, I want to say, he seems like that, cool dick dad. Like, the guy that just makes, the lead jokes, but he's really, really cool kind of thing.
Yep, that's exactly how, he was after the show. I kind of thought he was going to be kind of a dick for some reason, but, just...
That's what I mean. That's what he seems like he would be a dick, but so I'm kind of a dick. I can totally be a dick, and I don't mean to be, but it just kind of happens sometimes. But I feel like that's kind of that's cool. He was really real. The best person I've ever met is Kenneth Branagh. We were in London. This was real awkward though. We went to go see a production of Edmund in I can't remember what theater we were at. On the way there, a bird shat on my head. No joke. Happened. I had to wash my hair out in the sink, and every British woman was telling me how good luck that was, and I was like, okay, cool. I don't know. My hair is all wet. I'm sitting in this theater. It's fucking cold, and so we're sitting there, and I don't know if you know Edmund, but there's a couple scenes where a dude is literally naked, standing in a spotlight, and I was like, holy crap, that's his penis. That is his penis. That's a penis, everyone. That's a penis. That was me. I was 18 years old. I'm like, that's a penis right there. And so after the fact, though, he stayed and there's probably 5 or 6 of us. He stayed and he talked to us a round table, on a car. He just sat on the hood of a car and talked to all of us as answering our questions a round table. As actors, young actors.
Oh, wow.
It was literally one of the coolest experiences I've ever had.
Who'd you say it was?
Kenneth Branagh.
Why does he do what would I know him in?
A lot. It's random. It's not that random.
Well, no, I mean the penis part, that's part of the play.
Yeah, it's part of the play.
It'd
And
be
I just
random if
didn't
he had
know
clothes
that
on
there'd
during
be
that
penis.
scene.
I wasn't looking around saying that. That's what I was thinking. I was like, are people seeing this? There's a penis. Because I mean, we were with our whole theater troupe, high school theater
Mhm.
troupe, and we were watching a play that had like full blown male like frontal nudity, and I was like, what is going on? And it wasn't just like, oh hi, that's a guy walking across the stage, he's naked. It was like central like spotlight
Oh,
on
it's
the middle
part
of
of
the stage
the.
with the dude like just. I'm
It was
like,
part of the scene.
whoa, bro. Yeah, it was appropriate. Not that it wasn't.
Right.
I was just like, what? And it was weird to meet him afterwards. I was like, I've seen your penis.
I've seen your penis. I don't even know your middle name, and I've seen your.
No,
Seen
Kenneth
your penis.
Branagh was married to Helen Bonham Carter. He's in Harry Potter. He played one of the dark arts teachers. Oh, the bird shit on my head was random. I mean, I just feel like I had to tell you, like, give you the whole experience of start to finish. So that's how my night started, and I was running to the theater because I was late, and it shit on my head, and we were right by like the Thames. So
Is he like old, or just like older? He can't be that old if he was married to.
Hold on. Oh my God, Shadow, please.
Shadow's just
he's not old.
Shadow's just as excited about the penis as well.
Excited about the penis? I'm not excited about the penis. I was just like, what's going on?
Shadow might be.
That's who it is.
All right, let me click on this.
I mean, I don't know. Him and Sid have intimate moments. We don't need to talk about that. Oh my God, hold on. I'm gonna go make sure that he.
Okay. Maybe I don't know who he is. I thought it was someone else. Oh, he was married to Emma Thompson.
You've seen him before.
I'm just trying to see what I've. Hang on,
he's
chat.
A very Shakespearean actor. Like he's very much Shakespearean. Like he does a lot of Shakespeare plays. Like a lot of the like movie, all that jazz.
Theater. Okay. Yeah, I think I know who he is. I thought it was somebody completely different and much older who I'm pretty sure is long dead now.
No,
anyway.
He's not that old.
No, that's not.
No, if it was an old dude, I mean, I'm not that old, Ryoko. I'm just saying.
What is I guess what's your message on whether it's through Twitch or just in life?
I mean, we kind of already touched on this, like what I want and what I feel that on just the platform in general. I guess my message is inclusiveness more than anything. Inclusiveness and always evolving as humans. Like, be inclusive to everyone. That is positive, obviously positive, but it's I think more than anything, it's be who you are and be as inclusive to others as possible. Try to see, like, really, like, try to see yourself as an agent of change, whether it be in the video games you do, or you're streaming, like whether or not you want it to like evolve your content, you want to shift into like you're doing say you're a Destiny creator and you feel like you want to do a hard focus on changing a certain aspect of Destiny so much that you focus on it and you have conversations about it and you drive the conversations. Be an agent of change in a positive manner.
That's yeah. I think we've kind of, like you said, we've hit on that multiple times.
Yeah.
I was holding off on this question because I was hoping that Taryn was going to be here later, but she's probably still working. But this was a question Taryn gave me, a while ago. What's something you'd love to stream, but never had the chance to, or didn't think it would fit your image?
Okay, so I did have a chance to stream the game, but I did stream it, but it does not fit my image. Tarkov. I chose to stream it even though it went against every portion of my image. I mean, I even put out a whole twit longer about it because I asked my friends or asked a friend of mine in his chat for his advice, and what he said resonated with me, so I did it. And it turns out that game's not for me. It's very low chat interaction, and I am about people, again, communication, feeling each other, being with each other, having an experience on Twitch. It's not just about me, it's about us. Like in chat, you're there, I'm here, we're all together, right? So when I streamed Tarkov, it was very, very hard, to interact when I was playing, like in a match on Tarkov. It's not just like PvP. It's like you have to be ultimate focus. Like if I even looked away for a second, I died so many times, and I was like, I don't want to ignore chat. I don't want to feel that I am ignoring my community, and I wish it wasn't like that. But it's not on brand, and I won't stream it again unless something changes.
That was I think that was the first thing my first stream. My first time in your stream was, I think you were playing Tarkov.
Well, cheers that you're still here.
And I think you streamed that for, I want to say you streamed that for a while. I streamed it for a month. Came in.
I streamed it for a month. Yeah, I streamed it for a month, and then one day, it kind of started with something else. I was having like really bad anxiety because of something that was happening in my life. My relationship was changing, so I had really terrible anxiety. So I decided to stop because that game makes my heart beat faster than fuck. Like it's like somebody would shoot me and my mouse would shoot up into the heavens. Like it's just one of those games like that. It's a high like anxiety, your heart pumping, and this is everything all the time. Like always focused, you're always on. And I said I'm gonna take a break. And then when I looked at my stats, I stepped back, I looked at my stats, and I was like, okay, this is bad. I wasn't looking at the average. I wasn't looking at how many people were in my chat. I was looking at the chat interaction stats, like how many people were chatting, unique viewers. And I was like, okay, this is a problem. I cannot do this. Not just that, but also like my own personal, like looking at chat. I felt bad. Not having like the connection. I felt something disconnected, So I think what's funny is like, once there are two things that happened. That whole relationship thing happened, and then Tarkov, I stopped playing Tarkov, and those two things, like, I propelled myself into a new era of my streams, which was the same era that I started off with. I just continued even more so with what we were doing with Collective,
Right.
And I have never felt more comfortable streaming on this platform. Like, I know that, I don't really care. I mean, I would love to get partner. That'd be great. But I mean, it is what it is. I have no, that's not the end goal, right? That's never the end goal. That should never be your end goal. Just saying, if that's your end goal, you're going to have a problem. But with that being said, you do have to understand the way that your stats work together, right? You understand your unique viewers, how many people or how frequently they're chatting based on like what you see. Is your community interacting with one another? Are they interacting with your gameplay? Like, I don't really think anybody really cares about the Division. Like, honestly, I think some people do. But when I play the Division, I'm not playing the Division. That's the background. That's the noise, right?
Right. We kind of hit on that earlier too. The Division
is the same thing as those lights right back there. It's the same thing to me. That's the way I see it. That's the additive, right? You're here for me and everyone here. And we're going to have a discussion. Like, we have talks, we have like intimate moments. Like that's the meat of my content, not the game I play. But if I cannot play a video game that is conducive to that, then it just skews my brand way off.
Right. No, I get you on that. And yeah, I would say, again, touching on, I think we said this earlier, like people, yeah, I think the game is the carrot at the end of the stick. Like that's what you kind of
Yep.
you do to entice people to come in, and then once they're there, that's where you throw on that charm.
Yeah.
You're like, hey,
I mean, I think that like I think it could be both though. I mean, like it's really what defines you as a content creator, right?
hang on.
Uh-oh.
So I can't do that tonight. Crap. But I can do that.
You can refund them. You can refund them if you want to.
Well, I mean, I can play that later in the week if you want acid gaming. I would totally play a crappy NES game because I have plenty of them. I don't know how to refund them though.
I got you. Hold on. I got it. It's under like a little thingy. The little thingy. I refunded it.
Oh, thank you. I tell you what. To make up for that acid, if you want to ask a question, you can do that. I'll give you a freebie. No, you're fine.
He's giving away freebies, Jack.
Yeah. I'll have to pull out a crappy Nintendo game from either tomorrow night or Tuesday. Like I said, I got plenty of them. Oh, you don't have a question? Okay, that's fine too. I guess so. Do you play Tarkov at all? What games do you play off stream?
I don't really. I play Overwatch a little bit off stream. I do play The Division sometimes off stream. I don't really play video games off stream. Normally, when I'm off stream, I am making YouTube content or I am like connecting with other humans. So, like on other streams or like other places. So.
Yeah, I recently purchased what is it called? The Animals Crossing, and I've maybe played it for half an hour total. Is Blue Moon a beer in the U.S.?
It is.
It is. Yes, we do. We do have that here in the United States. I've drank it here.
It's good. It's very filling though.
It is. They have a newer flavor called, I guess it's like iced. What is it like? Iced coffee blonde or blonde iced coffee, and that's really good. And I'm not a big beer person.
I like beer.
I would say it's sort of popular. Right? I think that's fair to say. That it's a
Fairly, I would say it's well distributed.
Yes. Yeah. There we go.
Hmm.
An Erie. So rare. It's like a shiny Pokemon.
Really? I mean, it's a brown I guess in the United States, I think it's a brown distribution. Budweiser is like the same. Sorry, this is like this is the bartender in my row talking. I have many in my rows.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, and you're in Ireland. Oh, mad rare in Ireland.
Ah.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of. Yeah, that's. But it's good. There's different. Then they're one of the ones that releases like seasonal flavors, and all that too. And they're always pretty popular, certain times of the year. It's like pumpkin spice coffee.
Mm.
Were you sure is more of a brandy person? I enjoy. I like hard ciders and twisted teas. I can drink all the twisted teas. I love twisted tea. Ooh, brandy and cherry coke.
Okay, I'll have to try that one.
Yeah,
I've never tried that yet.
Never tried that.
No, the only brandy I've ever really had in a beverage would be I used to bartend at Chili's for 9 years,
Oh
and
wow.
Presidente margarita has brandy in it.
Hang on one second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, never mind. I thought you froze.
I think I did freeze.
Hello?
No, I'm here. I think my video is effed. It's because if we were in like it's the Discord.
It's Discord.
Connection. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry.
I'll have to think of something different for next time. I'm learning.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't. It's Discord. There's nothing really you can do. An overload of the system. Everybody's online right now.
Right. That makes sense. 9:30 on a Sunday.
Yeah.
No, that's the last question. So you've been. How long have you been affiliate?
What?
How long have you been a Twitch affiliate?
I have been affiliated for as long as I've been streaming, minus 7 days.
Oh wow. Jeez.
Yeah.
So you got, as soon as you moved to PC.
As soon as I started streaming, I got affiliate. Yeah.
Holy crap! Now was that streaming?
You only have to. What?
Did you got it before you went to PC?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I started on the, like I told you, I started on the PlayStation, and I just had people come and got 50 followers and had that average. The only thing I was actually waiting on was the amount of days. It said to stream on 7 different days was the last thing I needed.
No shit. What was so? I wasn't. Really...
I'm not like, that's not like a humble. That's not like. I'm not like. I know people like struggled their fucking butts off to get affiliate, and I don't mean like that as a humble brag. However, though, I did put in a lot of like legwork, like before that.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not like legwork.
I'm sure.
I made what you should make, which are friends on Twitch, and like, I don't know. I'm not like. It's hard for me because I tell people that and they're like, oh, okay, well, you just like had all these big streamers and just like permitted you, and like it, and that's literally how they sound in my head, because what's funny is those big streamers I consider my friends and my family.
Right.
I don't consider them to be like somebody that I'm not humbly bragging about it. I admire the fuck out of them and their like dedication and work effort, and like the fact that they have sacrificed so much, not just like their content, their families. Like they have families. Like these guys are dads. They have 2 kids, some with little, some with big, and like they have wives. Like all of those people made a hard work and sacrifice. I am just there to be a part of their communities, and some I help in a way of moderating. Some I'm just there because I enjoy being there, and they're my friends, and their community is awesome, and their community is awesome. But like, it's just, I've gotten told that a lot, that you're like, oh, well, you can't have everything handed to you. And I just like, I kind of laugh at that, because I was on Twitch for almost a year and a half before I started streaming. I always wanted to stream, always. The person I was with told me that I would never be good at it because I'm not that great at video games, which I'm not. I'm okay, but I'm good at looter shooters. I'm decent at them. I enjoy min-maxing builds. I love putting together things, but I am by no means the type of person that is going to be the like top OP person in that game. I will never be that way.
Right.
Ever. I would never sell myself that way. However, I think it's important to note your strengths, which is I can see weaknesses that can break video games. I can see them. I see them with Destiny, and I see them with The Division, and I rant about both. And I'm at the point where I have to stop doing it because I'm driving people nuts. Like there's something we don't say in my chat, which is the B word with Destiny. There's something that I'm trying not to do with The Division, which is talk about mods. And it drives me nuts.
Right.
So.
Anyway. No, you're good. So
Mm-hmm.
what was that feeling like when you got it? I don't know. I don't know if affiliates, changed.
I was really, really excited. I was excited to continue the journey.
And it is.
Yeah.
I think it's it does take a lot of work, regardless how you got the followers or whatever. Like, you still need to get those. The views is the hardest part, from at least in my experience it was. But you make friends, you make connections, you network. Like, that's not necessarily having everything handed to you.
Okay, yeah, I have to say something though.
Yeah.
I have come to realize that networking is not everything that people should focus on. And I know this is something that people tell people all the time. And I used to tell people this. I feel like people see networking as this thing where you just like shoot out a web and make these connections with all these streamers, right? And I think that that's the wrong approach. I think you should look to find people to connect with that you can bring into not just their community, but your community as well. Like, you shouldn't, like, when you say networking, it's like meet people. Yes, you should go into other streams. You should definitely, you should be spending more time like networking, as in spending other time in other people's channels, either by your same size, medium size, whatever size that you're comfortable with. I can't say what size you're comfortable with. Everyone's different, okay? But you should be spending time on Twitch, on the platform, getting to know people and making genuine connections, like that, like meld you with other people.
Right. Okay.
Networking kind of implies, like, I think for most people, when they think of networking, they think, oh, I need to like follow all these people. That's networking. I need to go in and say hi. Okay, go stream by. Like, if you did that every time you came into my chat, if you did that every single time, I would never go to your stream ever, not one time. That's not networking. But I agree. What a lot of people view that as.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I was a public relations major, so yeah, that's definitely not
right.
That's definitely not networking. That's
right. I just feel like I feel like we have to like get a bit more specific, as in like not just networking, but making genuine connections,
connecting with people
while networking. Like, when you say networking, you have to like go drop your you have to go like cast your net, or cast your net and drop it in like this pond and see if something bites. If nothing bites, drop it again. See if something bites. When you get that hook, that's your connection. That's your network, right?
Yeah, no, I would tend to agree with that. Networking isn't just, it's you have to make the connections, get to know people, and essentially and like stay in their streams, not just like, oh hey, but like be active in their chat, be a contributing member to the community. And that doesn't mean that you donate bits or you subscribe or you sub to them or whatever, but it's you're active in their chat and you're engaging. Exactly. Like, you're actually like a part of the conversation, not just like,
you're
oh
being
hey,
a human,
right?
Like, you're like, and I mean, sometimes this is hard though. It is hard. It is, because I know I'm guilty of this myself. I was in a directory. Here's the thing, what I do when I start streaming in a directory, I go to the directory and I look at the top streamers and I look at them, and then I go and I apply a filter, LGBTQA+ filter. I look at those streamers and I will watch people and I'm like, oh my God, I can't interact with you if you don't talk to me.
Right.
Like, you like, that's what I mean. Like, you have to cast that net. If you don't get a bite, like, you just have to like, and if nobody, like, it's hard though, because like, not everybody can have a moderator to come say hi. Like, your friend here, like, just said, hello, welcome to the show. That's very important. What they just did right there, that is very important in a Twitch stream.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, my video keeps freezing. I don't know why. Should I reconnect?
That might be me.
I'm on green.
Hello. Yeah, I'm flashing green too. Are you there?
I'm green.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm here.
Hi.
Sorry.
I think maybe it's if I don't stay clicked in to what is it called, Discord, then the computer freaks the hell out. But I think we got it now, Slayer. And yeah, you're right. I think to have, you know, people, you know, community members like Ryushura who, are engaging in people coming and going and whatnot. And you
Yeah.
see that, in like in your stream, for instance, when I pop in and say hi, like you'll think, oh hey Ryoko, how you doing? And then, Gamer Girl, whoever else is in there is like, oh hey, Ryoko, how are you? And it's I think I've gone into streams for the first time before and almost been I've literally been taken aback when when the not streamer and not mods are like, oh hey, how you doing? Welcome, blah 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 blah. Like I think it says and what that I think that speaks a lot about the blah, 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 that says a lot about the streamer.
I agree.
Yeah, chat. Yeah, I just want to check chat real quick. Slayer, we are just having a conversation. This is dinner with Ryoko. My guest tonight is Enviro. Let me throw this thing up.
Yeah, right now we're talking about genuine connections on Twitch and what it feels like to go in and drop into a stream, and kind of like how to gauge